And some of that really fantastic footage you just saw is a taste of what's going to be happening at the Little Carib Theatre. Influx, the meeting of waters, is taking place this Sunday, the 2nd of July. In studio with us, we have Ruth Osman, who's going to be sharing a little bit with us this morning. Not too much, and guess what? You can win tickets to be a part of this phenomenal event. Good morning, Ruth, and welcome.
Good morning, Natasha. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning, and looking forward to this conversation because you have some powerful women on the Little Carib Theatre stage. So tell us. What inspired us? Let's go.
Influx meeting of waters, right? The name is a dead giveaway.
Right.
We're talking about 3 female artists who work in the Caribbean, do Caribbean music, right? And who belong to or draw from 3 different traditions. Ruth Osman, Caribbean jazz folk, Sharda Patisar, Indian classical, Indian experimental, and Ajibola, Afrofusions, Afro rhythms. We're all composers. We're all musicians.
Right.
Ajibola and myself are singer-songwriters. Sharda is a sitarist, as you would know, a classically trained sitarist and composer, and also writer. So we are just excited and happy to be sharing the stage and collaborating in the true sense of the word.
And it makes so much sense with the name because we are water. And to see you all come together is absolutely incredible. I know, listen, make sure that you have our number saved if you don't, 622-4010, because you don't want to miss this experience. Now, you just mentioned all the different genres and everything that is dabbled in by the 3 of you. So what influenced this fusion for you 3 of you to come together and say, all right, let's get this done?
Yeah. It's been a long journey here, right? For all of us. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. And one of the things was, how do we collaborate?
Right.
What is the true nature of collaboration? Is collaboration just inviting somebody onto a stage to sing a song? Is collaboration a sort of creating together, a sort of getting to know each other, a sort of listening to each other's voices and what they have to say, and then incorporating? So this was really an attempt for me as a female artist, 1, to build community. Right. 2, to reach out and touch people in a very meaningful, not just a token way. Right. And I admire both Ajibola, I know her as Sheena Richardson, and Sharda. I love their work. I love what they're doing. I love what they're saying through their music. And it just made sense to me for us to come together and say something.
It does make sense, and I love the fact that you mentioned 2 things, community and poetry, because as soon as you look at this event, you know this is the start. I mean, yes, you've been working behind the scenes. As you said, the journey has been quite long, to say the least, but it's definitely the birthing of a community, which is something that is needed within our society in general, among women, and of course for creatives. So it's wonderful to see all these different blends and these different, let's say, currents and waves come together.
You're going with a thing.
Now, another thing as well is talking about currents and waves is you mentioned poetry. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a collaboration with Nina. Could you share with us a little bit about that?
So Nina Young Women's Leadership Program is founded by Akosua Dardane Edwards. Love her, really admire what she's been doing. And it's one of the primary things that it does is provide support to young women who are leaving state care. So we're talking around the 18-year-olds. What a lot of people don't know is that when they leave state care, it's a very, very tenuous time for them. And so they need supports. And Nina provides that sort of infrastructure in terms of mentorship, maybe a place to stay for a while, that sort of thing. And so I'm so happy because, again, women on the stage, right? I'm so happy to be partnering with Akosua and with Nina to have the young women there for the night, and also to be we're doing a workshop with them the weekend after.
So can I ask what brought along the collaboration? I mean, I know, Nina, there are a lot of collabs that take place, but particularly this fusion of what you're doing, what Akosua has been doing as well. What brought the meeting of the minds?
So I've known Akosua for quite a while, and I've been thinking a lot about how do I bring what she does into what I do, and how do we help each other and collaborate and support each other's vision. Besides that, there's something about a Caribbean jazz artist that's sort of a bit of a dichotomy, maybe. I don't know, that might not be the word, where the people who hear or can access the music that we play aren't necessarily just the people we want to hear it.
Definitely.
And for somebody like me who has a message, Sharda, Ajibola, the same thing. How do we get the young people, the young women, the people who actually need to see us on a stage, who need to feel empowered, who need to feel that, yeah, I could do this. How do we get them to attend? How do we get them to hear? How do we get to touch them? And so in thinking about that, I thought about Nina.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, when I already said winner, so I'm calling it into existence for one of you this morning. You can win tickets to Influx. You can give us a call at 622-4010 because this event is going to be phenomenal. Now, we've spoken about the women who are going to be involved, but let's also talk about, of course, there's a massive team behind you, I'm sure.
There is.
Who's on your team?
There is. So, ace musicians. These musicians are people that I've been working with for about a decade, in some cases more than a decade. Our musical director is Wayne Guerra. He's a really great composer, arranger, pianist, keyboardist. He's a professional. Music is his life. This is what he does. Theron Shaw. Terry needs no introduction, right? Same thing, composer, arranger, jazz guitarist. Mackenzie Joseph on drums. Of course, well, you know, Sheena going to be on percussion and vocals, right? She can mash up the place. Sheena's bringing a team of drummers who will be performing with her in her segments and sort of also working with us. Sharda is going to have Prashant, her brother, on tabla.
Okay.
She's going to have Joanna on laptop, providing some really interesting soundscapes. Yeah,
nice.
Sharda's music is really experimental, really interesting. It's a vibe. Am I forgetting somebody? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Russell Durity is going to be on bass. And I hope I'm not forgetting anybody who's going to be on that stage.
So while you just think about it, we have Aruka on the line who is ready to win some tickets for Influx. Aruka, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you ready to win some tickets?
I think so. I hope so.
All right. So Ruth.
Yes.
Yeah. Take it away.
So I'm just going to ask one question, and it was based on some things that we discussed before. What instrument does Sharda Patisar play?
Percussion.
Yeah, close. But
close.
Somebody else plays percussion.
Drums.
No.
Well, thank you so much, Aruka. And for those of you, of course, who are willing or ready to win, rather, I should say, you can always give us a call at 622-4010. We are almost out of time in today's conversation, but don't worry, viewers, because we are going to be giving away also in our second hour. So let's go back to the conversation. Now, one of the things that you mentioned is all these people coming together. What was the response, not just from the ladies? I mean, of course, as we mentioned, you know, ladies coming together is powerful. But what was the response from those within your team, those within your group, when you said, listen, this is something I want to do?
I'm really grateful for that, because I have a group of people, the musicians and the team working with us behind the scenes, who actually see the vision.
Right.
And these people have been, you know, COVID was a difficult time. Oh. Those 2 years were a difficult time for musicians. And I had people who were telling me, hey, we're here for you. Whenever you're ready, let's. So they bought in. They have bought into it. They're very supportive, and not just supportive. They actually see the work that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
Is this the beginning of something?
It is the beginning of something.
Wonderful. Well, listen, if you would like to be present at the beginning of something monumental for women, for creatives, and for Little Carib Theatre, and so many other people who are involved, you need to check out what's happening this Sunday at Little Carib Theatre Influx. And for those of you who are ready to win that ticket, here's a teaser of what just might be a question. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Natasha. It was.